What's going on, everybody? Doc Average Gamer Guys back again. Another Escape from Tarkov video. And on this one, let's talk about why right now in Escape from Tarkov might be your best chance at getting the collector quest done in your Kappa container. Let's get into it. All right, so a couple of disclaimers up front here. Kappa is not easy. And this video is not intended to talk about it being easy by any stretch of the imagination. If you are interested or have never maybe pursued this, maybe you're relatively new, or maybe you're just a wipe or two in, I really strongly recommend you head over to the Escape from Tarkov wiki, do a little perusing around, spend some time understanding the quest progression system and how things work. The collector quest, which opens up after a series of a bunch of other quests for every trader that you have to get completed. You have to complete that list of quests. You have to then hit level 55, and then collector will open up and you have to turn in every streamer item found in raid in order to get your Kappa container. Now, why do you want your Kappa container? It's a good container. It's kind of a symbol of completion, if you will, for a wipe. It used to be really essentially kind of the top end reward, if you will, for Escape from Tarkov. And I think that's now kind of shifted to getting to Lightkeeper and doing some of those other things. But I would still talk about Kappa and relate it to the fact that if you get your Kappa container, essentially is a really nice show of, I think, skill, patience, the grind, getting your butt kicked. But is kind of a way to judge in one extent, kind of a little bit of your mastery over the game, and your ability to do that. Now, is this the end all be all? Absolutely not. It is not the only way to judge success in this game by any stretch of the imagination. But it is nice, and it does provide some benefits. It's the largest container, secure container in the game, and can be good if you want to continue to play, you want to continue to farm money, or maybe you look for other goals, like getting all of your quests done or really getting to Lightkeeper. There may be some good benefits from having a Kappa container if you choose to pursue that. You have to make that decision for yourself. I am a proud Kappa owner for the last like 6 or 7 wipes. I have sometimes very much hated the journey, and this journey is not by any stretch of the imagination going to be easy. I do think there has been some recent changes that make it a little bit more obtainable for folks that may have previously not wanted to pursue that. Let's talk about a couple of things. The first is just really some changes to some quests. And I might go, let me swap over here and go full screen for this, because I think it's important that we talk about it. Let's talk about a couple that are usually some of the most difficult. Now, I want to say this. Recognize that the current state of the game with streets added has added additional requirements to the Kappa hunt. I don't think for the most part most of the quests are super difficult that have been added that are required. Some do require some frustrating keys. The upcoming change to barter items essentially being banned on the flea market, you can't barter for things, you have to pay for them now, should open this up. And I will tell you that even from the announcement of that, keys that typically have been inaccessible are now accessible through purchase. You're gonna have to grind the money, you're gonna have to do that, so you're gonna have to have the skills and ability to get to that point. But just recognize that you should go in right now and check that you might be able to pick up some keys that you haven't before, even without it implemented. There's a couple of specific quests, though, that I think make for big changes. The first one being Shooter Born in Heaven, which is currently the only mechanic task that I have left to complete. You can see I'm level 45, I'm about 10 levels away. That's a lot of experience for me still to gain. This, at the start of the wipe and last wipe, was 125 meters. That presented some challenges. This is a huge reversion, change back to what it had been essentially every wipe that I have gotten Kappa up to this point, which is again last 6 or 7, maybe 8, I'm not sure. For me, it has always been 100 meters. 125 was prior to that, and I think just prior to when I started playing the game, it's always been 100 meters. 100 meters is much more obtainable. There are a lot more spots for this. You can see I have some completion, but really haven't pushed this. I have not in any of these maps gone in with the intent of getting these kills and have been able to pick up I actually got all of my lighthouse kills at 125 meters, but was able to pick up all of these just through normal progression. That's great. That goes to tell me that this is working a little bit better than intended. Now, you have to have a focus on it. You have to be thinking about it. But this is one huge change that I think makes for this being more obtainable now than it had been previously, especially prior to this change. The other one is, I believe, I believe it's under purport, capturing outposts. Now, I have done this quest a few times. Did it last wipe. Through the pain and agony. This is a quest that most people, if they consider getting Kappa, realize they get to this quest and then stop. And I do not blame anybody for this. This quest is no longer required for Kappa. It's also only 8 PMCs at each location, which is a pretty significant reduction from what it had been originally and even prior to this, which is a great change as well. Now, if you want to do and get your armband collection going, you can do that. It gives a lot of experience if you're able to get it done. 70,000 is great. Throwable skill, cool. But this is no longer required for Kappa, which is a huge change. And I just want to show that really quick. Let me pop this over here. Capturing outposts, go to the wiki, no longer required. So I just want to highlight that. That's really, really awesome. Again, Logical Solutions did a great job summing up a couple of these things. LEDX has been difficult. It looks like this is actually possible to be crafted because you can find the book. There's this little book here, tech manual. It looks like Lighthouse is the place to find that. And Shooterborn being back, LEDX being craftable. There's a lot of small tweaks in addition to Cultist, Reshala. Cultist you don't need. But Reshala, all of the bosses getting their updates. There's been a lot of changes that I think put this in a much better position for you to be able to complete Kappa now, currently, especially comparative to a week ago and even maybe longer than that. I think this is really good. Do recognize, again, you got to get to level 55. That is a ton of experience. But you're going to work through, you're going to get your Punisher line done. You're going to be able to take and turn in your Epsilon container for a nice chunk of experience, which is certainly going to help. I generally say that if you can get up into like the low 50s, you're going to be able to get to 55 because this gives a ton of experience for turning this in, so don't accidentally sell it. There's going to be some other late game quests that you're going to come up to that are also going to help you to be able to do that. And again, I think the changes to capturing outposts being removed, Shooterborn having back down, and a few additional adjustments, boss spawn rates up right now, make for Kappa a much more achievable and attainable goal for a lot of folks this way. Now, this is separate, and you probably, prior to this, seen some videos talking about the current state of Tarkov and where we are. You have to make the decision. Are you going to put the time and the energy in? That's on you to decide that. If you've never gone for Kappa, I really recommend go to the wiki, spend some time understanding the progression, which you have to get done. You can really optimize a lot of things. There's a lot of things that you can optimize. There are, again, some really good level 40, level 45, and level 50 tasks that you do not need to complete, but give a great amount of experience, and you can pair up with other tasks to be able to help you do that, to get to that XP requirement. Doing your dailies and your weeklies is also very strongly recommended for me if you're going to make the push. So I hope this was helpful. I hope this gave you some perspective if you haven't stayed up to date on a lot of the changes and maybe you kind of wrote off Kappa at the beginning. But I do believe that now is a pretty dang good time if you're willing to put the time in and you're still interested in playing this game to be able to go about doing that. You have to make that decision. The best of luck. The last comment I just want to make is the items that are required, and I realized I had this up for a reason. The items that are required for a collector, I talked about streamer items. There is a boatload of them. Previous to this wipe, there have been a few items that are extremely hard to find. John B glasses being one of them. A lot of the newer stuff, the Willer Z wallet, John B glasses, Gingy keychain. These items have now become excessively more common, and you should not have something on this list is going to slow you down inevitably, but you should not have that difficult of a time finding, especially some of the items that have really given people a lot of challenge over the last wipe or two since these were introduced. John B classes, Gingy keychain, and even Willogy wallets are all spawning on scavs with some regularity. If you give your scav rep up, I have like 2 or 3 Gingy keychains right now. Literally ran a handful of scavs yesterday. I have a rep of 3 with fence, and I had 2 Gingy keychains on me on those scavs. So work your fence rep, get that up. The rewards and items you get are going to be much better, and you'll probably start to see some of these items showing up for you. Grab it, get it found in raid, and get it out, and you'll have some success there. So again, hopefully that was helpful, give you some perspective. Let me know if you're going to push for Kappa. I wish you the best of luck if you do. If you need any help with any of the quests in terms of keys or anything else like that, got links in the description, Twitter, Twitch, Discord, flash some socials at you. Feel free to give me a follow, join the Discord. We're helping people out because I'm going to push for it. I hope that you're going to do the same if you choose to go for it. And if I can help you in any way, I'd love to be able to do that. Give you some quest help as well, especially if it's your first run, trying to go for it. And just best of luck out there in the wilds of Tarkov. I've been Doc, Average Gamer Guys. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next Escape from Tarkov video. Peace.